It's 20th July. Let's read the today's news. Budget 2024. With China real estate crisis reforms in the place, is it time for the India to up the ante to in the budget? Let's read the synopsis of this news. Union budget, the real estate expectations. In India, the real estate sector is set to play a crucial role in contributing the country's ambitious goals of becoming a developed nation by 2047, with a target to boost the sector's contribution to the GDP from 8 to 13% by 2025. India aims to leverage urban development and sustainable growth lesson from the China recent reforms highlighting the need for India to accelerate its growth and maintains a competitive edge. The sector anticipates significant policy shift in the upcoming union budget to support the further growth in the address the key challenges. Let me summarize for you this. As we all know that budget budget will be announced by 23rd of the July. So why everyone is comparing China and India for this topic? Real estate. We are talking here about only real estate. So in China there was a huge crisis. There was a huge crisis. No, I'm not talking about the COVID. COVID was in 2022, which China has given everyone. Then after COVID, in 2021 onwards, say 2022, there was a big real estate crisis in the China. What was that? Real estate crisis. Let me summarize you quickly. What happens that many real estate company have taken money from the public to build a huge apartment. We have seen that like skyscraper apartment. So every big real estate company have taken a pre-deposit from the government to build. But what the company have done that they have invested this amount in the another project. That they have taken money for the first project, but instead of completing that project they have invested that amount in for the second and which say land. So what the company do is taking the amount of funds and investing there. Now the second person who has given the amount, now they will use that amount for completing the first project rather than completing the second. So they were following this cycle. So the first major uh, fall start when the Evergrande was declared bankrupt. Evergrande is the China's largest real estate company which was declared bankrupt. Soon after Evergrande, multiple companies was start declaring bankrupt. So the people were stopping giving because that is was only a pre-deposit amount. People started giving the afterwards amount. Like it was only 10% pre-deposit, so the people were not paying 90% of the because companies were not fulfilling their promises, and those who are living on the EMI. So many, so we are doing that. Many people just bought houses on a home loan home loan. Though people were who were buying the house from the home loan, they were also stop paying the EMIs for the houses. So this led to a huge real estate crisis in the China. But after now the news is saying that China has done the reform works in the China, and India has to learn. So why we India and China? Because China ranked second in the global and India currently ranked fifth. Their GDP is around 5 trillion. Our GDP is around 3.5 trillion. So it is already a developed nation. We are developing nation. So India is target is to become developed by 247, that is almost 20 more years, 20 to 23 years more. But the interesting fact is that in a developed nation, a real estate sector contribute around 30 to 40% of their GDP. So whatever the capex is happening, the real estate is contributing 30 to 40%. But in India, it is only around 7% as of today. We are standing at July 2024, but the Modi government is promising to increase it to 15%, significant jump only by 2025. So this cannot be done like doubling the percentage contribution cannot be done within the time, but it requires a lot of time. So this news about is what we have to learn from the China. Let's read the full news. It is here. Union Budget 2024, India ambition for the global becoming a developed country by 2047 closely aligns with the growth with the real estate sector. Thanks to the impressive economic surge in the recent time, surpassed by the real estate sector contribute to the urban development, it anticipates by 2020 40% of the Indian population will be residing in the urban area. While other growth indicators are rise in the real estate industry will play a crucial role in achieving the country's sustainable development goals. Given that across for 8% of the GDP are looking for a real ahead, real estate could easily be as the cornerstone for the resilient economy around which all the factors revolve. So I already said you that real estate sector in a developed country like China already is contributing 30 to 40% of their GDP. But in India, as you can read that it contributes only 8% towards our GDP. So that they are how so the Modi government wants to develop our real estate sector very fast. They are saying that by 2030 40% of the population will be residing in the place. Let's ask Chat GPT how much population, how currently what are the figures for the population which is residing in the how much Indian population in urban. It is saying 30%. So there may be 5% of growth in the population which will be moving towards the urban side. What is this significance of as population move toward the urban area? So there will be development in the urban area. The homes will be built, the infrastructure will be built to support their living. India must accelerate its growth to maintain a competitive edge over the China, which recently implemented a series of reforms aimed to revitalizing its struggling real estate sector. According to Bloomberg report, the People in Bank of the China has effectively removed the nationwide minimum mortgage interest. Additionally, they have lowered the minimum down payment ratio for the first home buyers to 15%, for the second home loan. But I was telling you that there was a crisis. So what they are like, we have RBI, they have the bank People Bank China, they are the bank of the central bank name is People Bank of China. So what they have done is reducing the down payment percent. Down payment is the initial percent which the people are required to give to the home builders. So what they are done, the people will give the less percentage and the our central bank will be supporting the real estate bulk. This is not complete, but complete news is that the people will give the less percentage of the EMI percent in the initial, and the real estate industry is now in the China is backed by their central government. But also they have reduced the minimum mortgage interest rate. Minimum mortgage interest rate is the home loan interest rate at which we a person can obtain a home loan. The remarkable growth seen in the India's real estate sector in 2020 suggests that the expectation from the upcoming budget aligns with the global significant boosting the sector. There is no better time to unleash the flurry the reform as India aims to increase in the real sector contribution to the GDP from 8. So we are targeting in the next 5% by 8%, drastically improved from 8% to 13% in just by 2025 within a 1 year of time span. Recently, India achieved a significant milestone in the global real estate sector by surpassing the China in the number of the billion-dollar real estate companies operating in the within its border. So it is also a great achievement for the India that the real estate company is flourishing in the India. And also we have surpassed the number of the billion-dollar number of the in terms of not size but in terms of number of companies. The real estate companies are more in there, but because we are developing nation, China is already ranked second. It has 25 trillions of the GDP, but India is only 5 not 5 3.5. So there is a lot more scope in the India to develop. Currently the Indian country has 36 real estate companies valued at billions dollar, a substantial increase from just 7 companies 6 years ago, and indicated by the latest data completed in human. The highlights India's thriving real estate market and the growing appeal of domestic international investors. The data featured in the 2022 Real Estate 100 report under robust growth in the trajectory of this sector by the factor urbanization. It is a repeat again that India is focused on urbanization. We are targeting to move 40% of the population in the urban infrastructure, as Modi have given multiple budget ideas regarding the infrastructure development. In contrast, China real estate market is grappling and significant challenges, including the government taxation and slowing down the demand. Why the demand is slowing? As I said earlier, the companies were putting their money in the second project, not completing the previous project. So by seeing this, the people were not felt demotivated and were not paying the company to the buy the new houses. In mainland China, the number of the listed company valued over the $1 million had declined from 100. See how this decline has happened because of the insolvency of these companies. In the human China 500, which is the highest threshold 3 billion number, to drop from 52 to just 10. Reform of the real estate sector is keeping the high hopes from this budget in terms of the policy shift. The could have a high impact on the future, according to the Kushan Lagwa, chairman of the guidance of the real estate advisor. Sector has been anticipating potential policy shift from. With the rising demand of the housing, we are hopeful for the adjustment in the tax policy and incentive aimed of at both home workers and the developers. Under the current Modi 3.0 administration, with the buyout expected to the reviewing the tax relief and increasing infrastructure investment, which are expected to surpass the growth. Incentives such as the credit linked subsidy scheme under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana promoting affordable housing scheme show the potential for the increased demand in the both urban and the. Additionally, reintroducing 100% tax exemption for the developer working on the affordable housing can alleviate the middle. So, what steps we are expecting from this budget to grow, to boost this demand in the real estate? The demand will not itself will grow. That people, unless and until the people are motivated to buy the houses, the people are not going to buy it. So they are saying that we will giving a double motivation to the we will giving motivation in terms of the tax 100% tax exemption to the developer who are developing the affordable housing scheme. Not to everyone, affordable housing scheme is the middle class people. Why this?
Can we do something about this?
Sure.
And also the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana focusing on a building on the affordable houses for the rural classes people. Agarwal also stressed that the real industry need to be comprehensive strategy that not stand current affairs but also provide framework for the long term and the inclusive sector development of the country. A breakneck in the real estate grow, but will it last? So the ultimate question that it will be grow in the recent 5 to 10 years, but how long it will? Can the India will also India will also facing the real estate crisis like China? In 2023, the Indian housing market reached the unprecedented peak, driven by the strong demand for the residential properties across the sector. The top 8 cities, as reported. This surge was particularly pronounced by the mid-income, premium, and the luxury segment, despite the higher mortgage and the. So they are saying that two, 2023 was the best year for the real estate market. The companies have sold the highest number of the inventories in the housing, and this demand was mostly from the mid-income segment person. The mid-income segment, the salaried employed person, or in spite of a heavy home loan interest rate, the people are staying motivated to buy the houses, because everyone has a dream to have a self house. No one likes to be in the rented house for their lifetime. So people, those who are salaried people, are even buying the houses at a higher interest rate. Data from the Knight Frank India revealed that the India's leading age property market collecting saw a 5% increase in the annual sales, totaling over to 3,29,000 apartments in total. Mumbai led the way with the highest 80,000 market, marking a 2% growth. Kolkata experienced the highest percent of the growth in the home sales, 16%, followed by the Ahmedabad. So these are the top tier cities of the India, which on the average they have shown a 5% year increase in the inventory terms, not in the amount. The overall growth in the revenue is the combination of both inventory in as well as the amount. Here we are talking about the inventory, how much more quantity they have sold 5% more year on year, is with the highest in the lower four, other than four metropolitan cities like Kolkata. Kolkata is also a metropolitan city. They have shown 16% growth, and Ahmedabad has shown 15%. Pune has with 13%, and on over the average 5%. Real estate in India has grown steadily over the past few years, driven by the factors such as the rapid urbanization, infrastructure improvement, favorable domestic policies. According to the Shriji Balaji CMD, Knight Franklin India was another watershed year for the India resident market, characterized by the shift towards the more expensive properties. The real estate market continues to onward achieve another watershed year. Without a doubt, this growth is led by the strong economic fundamental countries bias. Again, this is the same of the repeat of this, making a case for the industry status. Advocating for reforms, Sundarlal Doshi, founder chairman of the Cringe, stated that granting industry status to the housing sector could incentivize the growth and attract a significant investment. India's real estate sector awaits a significant policy shift under the Modi 3.0 government, with growing demand for the housing offices and the commercial zones. We hope for the tax incentive and the infrastructure upgrade to improve the urban living and the boost the growth in the. See, everyone wants to buy a house, but if you don't have the much saving, how you will? So the companies want tax saving in form of the profit that they will be deriving from the sale of the houses, and even the person, those who are buying the houses, they also get tax involved by the when they pay the interest, they get deduction from the their income. So there will both side tax saving. Additionally, the introduction of the single window appraisal system for the real estate construction would streamline the process, reducing the delay and boost the efficiency across the sector. The EPC sector in the India needs more investment and clearing regulation to thrive. The new tax rules can help the EPC firm over the challenges and innovate. The upcoming budget is also to focus the smart cities, renewable energy, high speed rail, aiming modernizing infrastructure. So this time the Modi 3.0 government has given a biggest dream for the India towards the renewable energy, infrastructure, railway, shipbuilding, building smart cities. So all these will be connected, will definitely give a huge returns to the investor if you are pick stock at the correct time. Meanwhile, Ashok Singh, MD CEO of the SS Group, battle for the tax reform and more incentive to improve the accessibility of home ownership. We look forward to the union budget and anticipate tax reform, more incentive for the affordable housing, higher investment in the urban area, and similar regulatory sector growth, while also improving the sustainability of housing. The government should consider the increasing interest reduction limit and encourage the housing. Enhancing the tax benefit will stronger incentive for the potential home makers in the investment real estate. There was supporting individual finances to secure driven market. Increased reduction in the home loan interest can make owning a house more financial viable for many potential, leading to a search. So what he is seeking, I will just explain you in my notes. So when a normal person is buying a home, he will definitely take a loan from a bank. Now nobody buys on a cash payment unless until you are extreme rich, but everyone is buying on a home loan. So we will buy on a home loan, and we will regularly paying what, our installment. Yeah, you can simply say it EMI. Installment is it has to factor installment and interest to the bank. So what the current tax benefit when a person, so they are talking about the what tax benefit a person get, so that he can buy, he when we will get the tax benefit, we will encourage to buy the more houses. So for the interest, there is there is house property the section in the income tax, which allow a person to claim a deduction of 2 lakh per annum if he is paying 100. For installment, there is 80C, which is inclusive limit of multiple incentives, not limited to house loan, but it is inclusive of multiple section like LIC, ULIP. So overall limit is very low for the ATC, and from the past everyone is expecting increasing the limit of the ATC, but from the multiple budgets we have only received a disappointment and no increase in such limits. So this time everyone is expecting on this limit ATC to be increased, but see how the Nirmala Sitaram will be putting the budget. Janpuria emphasized the higher investment in the infrastructure can enhance the connectivity and the quality of life, making the urban areas more attractive for the both resident and the investors. Simplified regulation will help developer. He is saying that simplified regulations, the regulation plays a very role. Ease of doing business is something which attracts the company for doing the business in the urban area.